Hey folks, Will Brink here, www.brinkstone.com, and today I want to talk about the term skinny fat. It gets thrown around a lot, but I actually think most people don't really know what the term skinny fat actually means, technically speaking. When we say someone is skinny fat, it usually means they are thin. They can be very thin, like fashion models, or can be a size 0, a size 1, a size 2. But if you test their actual body fat, it can be quite high. Sometimes above 20%, 25%. So when we say skinny fat, the person is not a large person. They can be quite thin, but they actually carry a high percentage of body fat. And, it's not a particularly attractive look, nor is it actually very healthy for you. So the reason people end up being skinny fat, as a rule, in my experience, is they tend to diet incorrectly. They also tend to focus on weight versus body fat. And obviously, when you're just focused on weight, that can be muscle tissue, unfortunately. That can be water. That can even be bone mass and hopefully some fat. But a lot of times, fat loss is only a small percentage of the total weight loss, which is not what you want. So if you're doing it correctly, you are testing your body fat, which is easy to do. With inexpensive calipers you can get over the internet. They're like 20 bucks. Don't rely on the scales that tell your body fat. They rely on BIA, which is not terribly accurate. So before you even ask, what about the body fat scales, I don't recommend them. That's how you appropriately end up with a body that is what you want. And I hate to use the word toned because it's not a scientific term, but you know what I'm saying. With those that want to end up, especially women, with a toned body that has a nice shape to it, those people focus on body fat. They don't just focus on weight. And that is usually a mistake in how you end up being skinny fat. They tend to be on crash diets. They lose weight too fast, which includes a lot of muscle mass, and don't really understand the difference between weight and fat. They say there are health ramifications, and the reality is also that people that are skinny fat can look good in their clothing, but honestly they tend to look really bad naked. They don't look very good at the beach. They don't look very good when they take their clothes off. And I think some people inherently see a thin person and they know something isn't quite right the way they look, and don't realize that the reason for that is they actually tend to have a high body fat. And like I say, so that's where the term skinny fat comes from. And you'd be surprised the number of very thin people, usually women, but certainly some men too, who can be quite thin but actually have body fat range above 20%, 25%, is not uncommon. So I do not recommend being skinny fat. It's not a particularly healthy nor attractive look, and that's where the term comes from. And if this helps, hit the likes and you sub up to my page here. As you can see, I give away a diverse range of topics. I tend to cover the science in ways that most people can follow and understand and use in their everyday life. And I'll see you all on the Brink Zone.